Hello friends of Chrissy Kelly on Smell. My name is Rowena Russell and Chrissy asked me to record a little video for you about true taste. I'm going to ask you to do two things today. I'm going to ask you to accept fact, and then I'm going to ask you to merge directly into the world of imagination. I understand altered eating. This was me a couple of years ago. So I get it. When I was in bed, unable to eat, and as somebody who has always been incredibly physically active, I wasn't able to move very much either due to fatigue. This was all long COVID, which caused achalasia, so my stomach shut, and I had lots of altered eating issues and still do today. So if you've lost your smell, I understand how difficult that is and how it affects your enjoyment of food. When I couldn't move, I lay in bed and I prepared all of my muscles to fully imagine me cycling over the mountains from Ullapool to Inverness. I imagined very deeply what my muscles felt like, because that was an unforgettable feeling. I imagined the wild wind ripping through my face and just the sense of exhilaration. And it took me quite a long time. It's a strong form of meditation, I realized, but it really helped. And after a number of years, when I was able to actually get on my bicycle, my body was there right away. So I'm going to ask you to do that with smell. Before you eat food, I'd really like you to take the food that you're about to eat out and put it somewhere that you can see it, and spend some time remembering this food. If you've ever had a sense of smell, spend some time remembering it. Think about it. Explore it from the perspective of the peach. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at facts, okay? Smell does a huge amount of heavy lifting, and if you don't have a sense of smell, like the fruit that we get in this country, in England, in the UK, isn't particularly tasty. The mouthfeel is not often quite there. And definitely for things like seeds and nuts, that first bite can be a bit like, oh, and they can smell a little rancid somehow. So we're going to use the old salt, fat, acid, heat method on our true taste plate, okay? I'm also going to introduce you to thyme tincture, which is amazing, but very difficult for me to say. If you want a strong hit of flavor, this is a great way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to warm things to give you a better chance of them feeling good in your mouth and you tasting them to a better level. So we're going to start with the pear. Over the years, I've met so many people who said, I don't really like pear, but if you add a little bit of heat and a little bit of pepper, the pear really comes into its own. So you want to cut reasonable slices. Think about your mouthfeel, think about your mouthfeel. So nice, reasonable slices. You want to put them in a warm pan. Keep the skin on, friends, keep the skin on. The skin is the best part of the pear. It's particularly good for your liver. And given that your liver carries out over 300 functions a day, anything that you can do to support your liver is a help. And lemon is also really good for your liver. It helps with mouthfeel, it helps to cut through fat, it helps to digest fat, so it's a super helpful one to have. Your peppers, so for this one, I would release your pepper mill so that it's coarse. The tighter you tighten this, the finer your pepper. A friend told me that she didn't know that the other day, so I thought I should maybe share that information. Not too loose because you lose your bowl. Pepper burns, salt reduces the temperature of food. Pepper burns, so you don't want that to happen. So just keep it on the move a little bit. in the kitchen, dry hands are really important. You often need to like test your pans and so on. So just make sure that your hands are nice and dry and they won't burn as easily. So I've got a plate over here. I'm going to put that pepper on here because I do not want that to burn. I am now going to pop my pears in the pan. If you don't like pears, I'm asking you to please do yourself a favor. Please try this dish. It's really good. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of umami on this plate. Now I know loads of people who have difficulties with mushrooms. So all we're going to do is we're going to get a pastry brush. We're going to sweep the mushrooms. We're not going to wet them because they go slimy. Going to chop them nice and fine. Okay, pop them in the hot pan. If you put mushrooms in a cold pan, they're just gonna not work. Always have a hot pan. So this is a dry, hot pan. The water will come out of the mushrooms and they will not be slimy and the flavor will be better, okay? I promise. You can add a bit of lemon to them at the end if you want and they'll be really good. The other thing I'm going to pop in here is a little bit of peach. I'm going to warm it because again, the flavor profile is just better, and how it feels in your mouth will be better. You'll get a very different kind of profile in terms of the feel. We are going to add some really nice olive oil to this plate. So we're going to dress this plate up. And that really helps with the true taste. You're going to get lots of different flavors. Folks, there's no point in going all sweet or all savory. Just go for it and explore. So big thing with these seeds for me is that I'm like, I can't quite get to grips with the flavor. It's the feel of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat a pan for not very long, and I'm going to toss some seeds in there, and they're going to the natural oils come out, and it makes such a difference. I thought some pecan on here would be really delicious as well. So we're going to pop some pecans in there. Lovely flavor. And then the other thing I'm going to toss in here is the last of these gorgeous little raisins. And again, they're going to end up, it's just the sugar will come out in them. I'm going to toss some seeds in here. This is a very regular lunch for me. I love it. Going to add a little Manchego cheese. If you have the Manchego with the peach, Holy Mary, Mother of God. So I'm turning this pan off now. There's enough heat in this to just let these things do their thing. I am going to add a little bit of molten salt on here because frankly it would be rude not to. Okay, let's check these out. So all you want to do with the pears is soften them up a bit. Let those flavors come out. And I promise it's a very different experience. Here's my neighbor. Okay, so what have we got here? I can just see the liquid coming out of these mushrooms now. And I'm going to turn these peaches over. Now, I'm going to add hot honey to these. It's got jalapeno pepper in. It's delicious. It's really delicious. So for the Manchego cheese, I have cut this really thin, okay? Mouthfeel. So when you're prepping food, if you have the time, lie on the sofa or wherever you're comfortable and just imagine the food. Imagine it in your mouth. Imagine the combinations of the other thing in your mouth. And then imagine, how could I make that better? How could I improve that slightly? Because I promise, there is always a way that you can make it better. And therein lies the joy of food. Trust me, I totally understand that when you've got altered eating, it's more difficult to fully enjoy food, but I promise I'll help you find some ways. Okay, so these mushrooms need a little longer because you want all the water to be out of them. But I'm going to start flavouring the rest of this dish. So we want some fresh herbs. I'm going to cut these up really fine, chop them really fine. And it's always worth imagining going through each step of the process with a meal. You don't want like big chunks of herbs in your mouth. You want to be able to focus on smelling. So the mouth feel, the amount that you want to put in your mouth, how easy is it to actually eat? I don't know how many of you might have dental issues, but making it really easy to bite through it. So here we go. A little bit of lime, and I'm going to add the lime directly onto the peach. Now, just put this where you can see it. Plate, dressed with some pepper, some salt. So, we've got the peach right beside the pepper. Now, I would say, if you're cooking for yourself at home, go to extra effort, not less. I cannot understand why you would deprive yourself of the absolute joy of gorgeous meals, especially when you're on your own. So now here, I'm going to go with a little bit of oil. And I'm going to put the Manchego cheese kind of in between the peach because I want it to warm a little bit. So I don't like a completely warm salad or a completely cold salad. I like a mixture. It's a bit more exciting that way. So now these mushrooms, they're nice and done. I'm going to put those here in a little corner of their own. And now we've got this nice seedy section. That's like a little picky bit. I highly recommend you eat this with your fingers. Knives and forks create a barrier between you and the experience of the food. Feeling the food is really important. So I'm going to put the tiniest amount of thyme tincture here by the pears. That smells so amazing. And now by the peaches and the Manchego, I'm going to put some of this honey, pepper the top, a little bit of mint. And I would say just play around with whatever is seasonally available. And if you want a little bit more acid dressings, always make your dressings in a jar or a bottle, then you've got them. This is just whole grain mustard, Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar, and a nice little bit of oil. And I'm just gonna dot that around. So as a picky plate, to get a sense of true taste, which is just all the things. Just put all the things on a plate in a way that looks appetizing to you. This has all the flavors, all the tastes. Give it a go.